Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Kinney, the author of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, and I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you also to Scholastic for hosting this cool party. So a lot of you have been spending a lot of time on screens lately, watching your teachers teach and connecting with your friends. Today's going to be no different with the screen time, because if you're watching this, you're on a screen, unfortunately. But we are going to do things a little bit different today. I have a new book out. It's called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Deep End. And we are going to celebrate the launch of this book by having a party. That's right. I'm here today in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid studio. And wherever you are, at home or at school, I hope you have fun at this party. But before we get started, every party, every pool party especially, has to have some rules. So let's take a look at the rules of our party. Okay, the first rule is that there are no pets allowed in the pool. I think we can all agree to that. The second rule, no diving. It's kind of shallow, you know, the water. The third rule is no running on deck. We've all been caught by lifeguards before. No roughhousing. Actually, this looks like the cover of Diary of a Wimpy Kid Roderick Rules. Okay, the fifth rule is no eating in the pool. And now this is the most important rule. Is that you can use the restroom if you need to use the restroom, because there is no peeing in the pool. That's the most important one. Now, the party can't go on forever. So when we hear this sound, that's right, the sound of the lifeguard's whistle, we know the party is over and everyone has to get out of the pool. You know, we all have to go back to class. I have to go back to writing. So that's how we know the party is over. Now, what's really fun about this party is that I don't know what's going to happen and you don't know what's going to happen. And that's because it's totally random. Let's look at all of the things that could happen at our pool party. Okay, let's start below the water line here. If we land on this little pie piece, we're going to do a virtual water balloon toss. Over here, I'm going to tell you my story. Over here, you can ask me anything. Right here, we've got Draw with Jeff, which sounds fun. Over here, we have Dunk Jeff. Now, that doesn't sound good. I thought we asked to eliminate that one. I don't like the sound of Dunk Jeff. Let's go over here. If we land there, we'll do a trivia challenge, which sounds like fun. Over here with this goofy face emoji, we're going to have a dance-off, because every pool party needs dancing. Over here, we're going to have an awesome friendly surprise. I can't tell you what that is yet. And if we land here, we're going to have extra homework. That sounds terrible. I don't like the idea of giving you extra homework, but anything could happen at this party. So we don't want to land there, and we don't want to land there. Everywhere else seems like fair game. So in a second here, we're going to spin the wheel. Are you ready to party? Here we go. Let's give that wheel a spin. All right, where are we gonna land? All right, we landed on Draw with Jeff. Now, I always like to draw for kids, so we actually have an easel over here. Let me put it right here. That looks framed pretty well. Move it a little that way. Okay, kids always ask me to draw Greg Hepley, so I'm going to show you how I do it. If you've ever tried to draw Greg, it's actually a little bit hard because there aren't so many lines, right? So if you mess up, it doesn't really look like Greg, and sometimes I mess up myself. So we're going to start with the two eyes, and then I draw a nose right underneath one of the eyes. Now you guys can be drawing along at home or at school, so if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, you can draw along with me. Now for the hardest part, which is to draw Greg's head. It's almost a perfect circle. So let's see what that looks like. See if I get it right. Not so bad. Actually, for me, that's pretty good. Now I draw the hair, which is 3 strands of hair. Now in cartooning, I'm always trying to use the fewest lines possible. So Greg, I think, only has about 9 lines on his head, which include 2 dots for his eyes and then a line for his mouth. So far I've got a pretty good Greg going. Now, this is kind of hard. Greg doesn't stand up straight. He's kind of curved. And in fact, he kind of curves like a banana, right? So Greg, I'm going to draw a shorter body. It looks like I made the head a little bit too big. So Greg curves inwards here. And what's really funny about that is in different parts of the world, they call Diary of a Wimpy Kid something a little bit different. In Brazil, they call it O Diário de Banana, which means Diary of a Banana. And they call him the Banana Boy because he's sort of curved. Now, Greg only has 4 fingers. In cartooning, sometimes cartoonists use this shortcut where you only draw 4 fingers because it's kind of enough to get the point across. You have a thumb and then a few fingers. Okay, so Greg curves in like a banana, back out like a banana, and then actually his legs do another curve. So here we go. It's really hard to draw sideways like this. Okay, my legs are getting a little thick there. Greg's looking a little bit lopsided in my drawing. I'm not sure how you guys are doing at school and at home. Greg's got some socks, and then he's got these kind of big balloony cartoon shoes. And that is how I draw Greg Heffley. Now, the name of this segment is called Draw with Jeff, not Jeff Draws. So let's see if we can get, I think we have a kid who's standing by. Do we have Isaac from Illinois? Let's see if he pops on the screen. Oh, okay, this is Isaac's classroom. How are you guys doing? Good. Loud and clear. And is this Isaac? All right, Isaac, you're all masked up. That's a good idea because you're in school, so I understand that. So Isaac, I would like to teach you how to draw Manny Heffley. It's one of my favorite characters. Have you ever read the books?
Yeah, I read all of them.
So you know who Manny is. Okay, so why don't you flip to your page, right? Do you have something to draw on? Excellent, you're ready for this. You're right-handed just like me. So let's do it like this. Manny, and draw nice and big, okay, Isaac? On your screen, really big on your drawing surface. Really big eyes. That's easy, it's just like Greg Heffley, right? And then a really long nose, like longer than you think it would be. Right? And that nose goes all the way back to where the eye starts. Right? Yes. Excellent job. Did you make it long enough, the nose? Okay.
Yes, but it's kind of hard.
That's all right. I messed up too. That's why I usually use a computer screen, because if I mess up, I just undo. All right, so the mouth starts over here, and then it goes all the way past that eye. So really long. It's almost like an alligator snout, In fact, when I make Manny really big in the books, he looks really strange. Now, he's got a neck that's very rigid, right? It's a right angle there. And then his neck is kind of long. That's unlike Greg, who doesn't really have a neck. We've got an ear over here. All right? And then the top of his head is actually a lot like Greg's top of his head. It's got the 3 hairs. Now, after you've done that, we get to the most fun part, which is the teeth, right? So he's got these giant teeth with a space between them. In fact, they're a lot like Rowley's teeth. Okay, and I'm coming close to see, wow, that really is amazing. Isaac, that's
right.
In fact, let's hear it from your classroom because that's really amazing. Let's hear a cheer, guys. Now, Isaac, I'm a little bit jealous because you got a lot of cheering in your classroom for you. I got literally no cheering for me here in the studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to impress you and the people that are in my studio with me by upping the game a little bit. So I'm going to draw Manny again. I'm going to try to do better than you did, but I'm actually going to do it blindfolded. So Isaac, do you think that I can draw a better drawing of Manny than you did blindfolded? Yes or no?
Well, you did it for like a lot of books, so I'm guessing you can do better.
Wow. Okay, let's hear it from your classmates. Do you think I can draw better than Isaac blindfolded?
No!
Oh, a lot of no's in there. Okay, here we go. This is a real blindfold. Don't ask me why I have a blindfold. It's kind of strange. Okay, here we go. I'm lining up. I got my pen out. Here we go. Okay, so Isaac, I might need a little coaching. First, I start with the two eyes, right?
Right.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so then the nose, it goes out and it's long like that, right?
Yeah.
So far, so good?
Yes.
I told you I was a master at this, Isaac. Okay, now it's the mouth and then the neck.
Not
Good.
good. It's not touching the nose.
Well, I'm sure it is. I'm sure you're just trying to mess me up now. Hold on. Okay, so now we have the ear. It's right here. And I think if I'm getting this right, then the head would be right here. Right? And then the three hairs and the neck. And then the two teeth. And is it perfection?
No.
Isaac, you were supposed to coach me through this.
I was trying to coach you. I said that the mouth didn't touch the nose. But you like I was trying to mess you up. But I wasn't.
I know you weren't, buddy. I'm just having fun. You know we're broadcasting to about 100,000 people. So now you have that great drawing. I have this terrible drawing. But thank you, Isaac, and thanks to your classmates in Illinois. This was really cool to draw with you virtually. And I hope to see you guys down the road in better times. Actually, we have something for you, Isaac. Oh, it is a signed copy, the very first copy of the Deep End. This is going to you, Isaac, and you can share it with your class. Thank you for doing this. This was really fun. All right, we're going to go back to the wheel. And here we go. All right, so far so good. And let's see where we land. We landed on Trivia Challenge. Okay, this should be pretty fun. So I've written 15 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, and you would think that I'd be the expert at Diary of a Wimpy Kid, know-how and knowledge and information. Unfortunately, I'm not. There are kids that actually know more about my books than I do. So we are going to actually bring up two super fans. So let's see if we can get Calvin and Carter on screen.
What?
Here we go. All right, we see Calvin and we see Carter. Perfect. So Calvin, tell me where you're calling in from.
I'm calling in from Farm Elementary, Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, and you, Carter?
Steele Elementary, Colorado.
Wow, Michigan and Colorado. Now, you guys have never met, but you are about to go head-to-head in a trivia contest. Before we get started, let's talk about what you will win if you win. Here we go. I know it's disappointing, but it's a whole Diary of a Wimpy Kid box set. That is what you're competing for. Let's get our questions up, and we are going to start. Now, get ready. If you know the answer, you're going to raise your hand up really sharp, right, so I can see it. Okay, here we go. The first question. What was the name of the book in which the pig first appeared? Calvin.
The Long Haul.
The Long Haul is correct. Calvin gets a point. All right. My next question is, who was the author of the Spine Tingler series? Calvin.
I Am Spooky.
I Am Spooky is correct. Okay. Carter, be ready for this one. Okay. What is the name of Greg's uncle who stayed with Greg's family? Calvin.
Uncle Gary.
Uncle Gary. Okay, excellent. Yes. Okay, Carter, be ready. What color? And Calvin, you better be careful about this one. Okay. What color is the green book? Carter, I'm going to give this one to you.
Hard Luck.
That is not the
Green.
book.
Green.
It is the green one. That's correct. Okay. And what is Greg holding on the cover of The Ugly Truth? Okay, Carter.
Egg.
An egg is correct. Okay, this might be how many pages are in a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book? How many pages are in each Diary of a Wimpy Kid book? Calvin's looking for the book. The answer is 217. Okay, really hard question. There's an author named Mike Davies. His name is a parody of Dave Pilkey. What is the series of books that he wrote? That's a really hard question. Calvin.
Underpants Bandits?
Underpants Bandits is correct. All right. My last question for you, extra hard question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Question is, what is the nickname of the kid named Gibson in, yes, Calvin.
Gibby.
Baby Gibson is correct. Okay, we have our winner. Congratulations. And let's announce Calvin won, but both of you were so good. You're both going to get a box set of books. Thank you so much for participating. And I hope you all right, take care. Okay, here we go. We are going to give this wheel another spin. Let's go. And we're landing on the story of my life. Now, sometimes when you go to a party, there will be somebody who likes to talk. And today, as you can see, that's me. Now, sometimes when you have an author visit, the author will tell you about how they became an author, how it all got started for them. So because we want to get back to the party, I'm going to tell you my story, but I'm going to keep it really short. I'm going to try to keep it under 2 minutes. Now, first of all, I was lucky enough to grow up in a house full of books. I read everything I could get my hands on. I love fictional humorous stories by Beverly Cleary and by Judy Blume. I love Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing and Freckle Juice and other books by her. I loved funny books of poetry. My favorite poet was Shel Silverstein, who wrote A Light in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends, but he had his picture on the back of his book, and I was actually a little bit scared of Shel Silverstein. I put that into one of my Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I love to read comic books. My very favorites were the ones by Karl Barks. He did comics about Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge, and I learned about my world from comics. I also like to read newspapers, and I loved the funny pages, the comic section of the newspaper. I loved Charlie Brown. I loved The Far Side. I loved Bill Watterson's Calvin and Hobbes, and one of my favorites was Big Nate, and I actually became friends with the author of Big Nate later on in my life. Big Nate inspired me to create my own comic strip, which I called Igdoof. And yes, here is Igdoof sitting on the toilet reading his own book. So I did this in college. And then after college, I tried to become a syndicated newspaper cartoonist, meaning my cartoons would get into newspapers. But I got lots of rejection letters. So here's one of my rejection letters. So it didn't work out for me. At the time, I was writing in journals. I was keeping a journal or a diary of my own life. And here's what the journals looked like. I had lots and lots of them. And let's open one of the pages up to see what it looks like. So that's what my pages actually look like. This is when I was first dating my wife, so I kept track of everything that was happening in my life. And this is what gave me the idea to write Diary of a Wimpy Kid. A light bulb went off and I said, I could actually take this idea and get my cartoons into books. So I started writing every funny thing that happened to me in my life. And it took me about 4 years to fill up this sketchbook. It took me another 4 years to write the first draft of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, so 8 years in total. I took it to something called New York Comic Con, where there's lots of people who like comics, comic books, comic strips, and I found an editor. He liked what I wrote. 1 year later, the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid book came out, and then we used the money that we got from that book to build the bookstore that I'm in right now, which is called An Unlikely Story, and we are on the top floor right now in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid studio. So I think I kept that to about 2 minutes. That's the story of my life. And now we're going back to the party. Okay, are you guys ready to spin the wheel again? Let's see what we get. We still have some really juicy ones, including extra homework right here. So watch out, kids. Here we go. We're giving it a spin. All right, and we have landed on an awesome friendly surprise. Starring Rowley Jefferson. Okay, last year, the first Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid book came out, and it was really fun. We got in a van, We traveled around the country and we found awesome, friendly people, really cool people who are doing really cool things. And today, we are going to carry on that tradition. We actually have 2 people that are going to come up on screen. So let's see if we can get them to come up. All right, the invite has gone out. Sometimes it takes a minute. All right, great. Oh, hi guys, that's a lot of awesome, friendly people. All right, first of all, let's talk to, wow, you got bubbles going on there and everything. First of all, raise your hand if you are Cynthia Horton. Okay, Cynthia Horton, hello, how are you doing? It's quiet on your end, I can hear you, but, so, oh, there we go, I can hear you now. Now, Cynthia was nominated by her colleagues at Danielle Webster Elementary. Cynthia goes above and beyond for her students and for the community. She volunteers her time after school to tutor students free of charge. Her heart is bigger than her smile. That's amazing. And she is always smiling. We can't tell right now, but we know you're smiling. During her lunch break, if she's not collaborating with her colleagues, then Cynthia is often helping students catch up on their assignments or keeping them busy with a fun activity. She also volunteers her time to help students with their college essays. Cynthia is one of the kindest, most dedicated teachers there is, and that is awesome. For that, Cynthia, we're sending you an awesome, friendly certificate, which you can hang on your wall. A gift certificate to my bookstore, An Unlikely Story, and you can buy what you like for yourself. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. And now we have a double surprise. So we have, let's have, and you don't know this is coming, Cadence Garner. Cadence, I'll bet you didn't know this was for you. Okay, Cadence. You're like, what am I doing here? Cadence is a 5th grade student. That was my favorite year. She comes to school every day with an amazing attitude, ready to learn and help others. Going to school during a pandemic can be very difficult, but Cadence is strong and resilient. Her teacher, Ms. Fairchild, knows she can always count on Cadence to take care of others. For example, when a new student joined her class last week, Cadence immediately asked how she could help. She showed the new student around the school and made sure to provide tools to be successful. Cadence helps every day with tasks around the classroom to help her teacher. Cadence is a bright light in school this year. Cadence, thank you for being the awesome person that you are. We have for you also a certificate that announces you. An Unlikely Story, we can buy all the books that you like. So thank you so much to both of you for being the awesome, friendly people that you are, and we hope to meet you down the road in person. See you guys later.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, we're going back to the party. Here we go. I'm nervous because we still have Dunk Jeff here, which I really don't want to land on. My hair is just right today, and I don't want to get wet. So let's hope we land on extra homework instead. Let's give the wheel a spin. All right, and we're gonna land on, okay. We are going to land on water balloon toss. Now, how are we going to do a water balloon toss in a pandemic? We're actually going to do it virtually. In fact, we may be the first in the world to ever attempt this. I think we have Isabella waiting in the wings to attempt the first ever, there she is, she's in her home, the first ever virtual water balloon toss. So let me ask you, first of all, Kim, you shout, are we both facing the same direction? I mean, are we doing this right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm gonna get a balloon. Okay, here we go. We have a real water balloon here. It's orangish. Okay, can you see it, Isabella?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, you've got to get ready to catch it, okay? We're really trying something different here. Okay, on the count of 3, we're gonna toss. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Did it work? We somehow crossed. Okay, great. We're gonna give this another toss. 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh.
Woo!
I got mine. Okay, excellent. This is working. Okay, you ready? Now I'm gonna toss a little further this time. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Are we still?
You are on.
Hold on 1 second. And I am, okay, great. I am almost ready. Okay, I took a step back, but I took a step out of the screen. So this is it. We're gonna go for the long distance record. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh no!
I got a little bit wet there. So Isabella, we have successfully had the first ever long distance water balloon contest, but you are actually the winner. Congratulations, and we have something for you. We are sending you a Wimpy Kid 10-second challenge so you can play more games at home. And Wimpy Kid Flipping Frenzy. So I hope you enjoy these things. We're gonna. You're welcome. Thank you so much for doing that with us. All right, we'll see you down the road one day. Oh, I got a little bit wet. Okay, but luckily my t-shirt didn't get wet, and most importantly, my hair didn't get wet because, like I said, it's perfect today. Okay, we're gonna give it another spin. Let's see what we got left. We've got a few left. Some of them are below the water line, so you can't really see. We're gonna give it another spin. Here we go. All right, and we landed on, Ask Jeff Anything. Okay, this is a very special segment where you get to ask me anything you want. Now, here's the catch. If you ask me a question I've been asked before, it's going to make Rowley sad. So let's see. Rowley is sad. Here we go. Yeah, there he's crying. Let's see again. Okay. We don't want to ask me a question I've heard before because that will make Rowley sad. So I'm going to look at a little screen over here, and let's get our first question.
Hello, my name is Jakari. I'm from Texas and I'm in the 4th grade, and I have a question for you. So, where did you get the name Greg Heffley?
Jakari, great question. Why did I name Greg Heffley Greg Heffley? Well, first of all, my name is Jeff Kinney, and the name Greg Heffley is sort of similar if you stack them on top of each other. Now, my mother almost named all 3 of her boys Greg. She never did, so I figured I'd bring the fictional Greg to life. Okay, we're gonna play our next question now.
Hi, my name is Emily and I'm from Rowland Heights, California. Today, I have a question for you. If you were to be stranded on an island with 2 characters from your book, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, who would you choose and why? Choose wisely and good luck.
Who would I like to be stranded on an island with from Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Boy, none of the characters, actually. I'm running them through my head. Roderick wouldn't do anything. Greg wouldn't do anything. I need somebody to get the coconuts. I think that Manny could climb up the tree, and he doesn't speak much, so he wouldn't annoy me too much. And I think I'd go with Rowley. I like him as a character. Okay, great question, Emily.
My name is Nianthi. I'm in Basel, Switzerland. I'm from India, and I'm 10 years old. Let's say you were stuck in an elevator with Sweetie the dog, and he's about to explode. And only one Wimpy Kid character can come in to help you. Choose from the following. A, Mom, and her glasses are broken because Manny broke them. B, Manny. C, Joshy the singer. D, Heather Hills.
Oh boy, who would I want to help me in an elevator and Sweetie is about to explode? Wow, I have never been asked that question before, surprisingly. I'm going to go with Mom, even with her broken glasses, because moms always make everything better. Great question. Let's have the next one.
Hi, I'm Wilson, and I'm from New Rochelle, New York. My question is there anything interesting or surprising that has happened to you as a result of writing the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series?
I would say everything that's happened to me since I became an author about 12 years ago has been surprising, including I've been to the White House to meet President Obama. I've had lunch with George W. Bush. I've met tons of athletes and performers and singers. I've made friends with some people that I never thought I would have made friends with. So it's been really cool. And the fact that I get to be in this studio talking to you with a giant van flying into a wall, I think that's the most surprising thing of all. Great question, Wilson.
I'm Kid with Rowland Heights. Have you ever considered writing a book about the Heffley family in COVID?
The Heffley family in COVID. I thought a lot about that, and I thought, boy, by the time my book comes out, kids might be a little sick of this whole COVID quarantine thing. So I started off my new book in a funny way. The new book starts off with the family in quarantine in grandma's basement. Now, they're not really quarantined because of a disease or a pandemic. It's because their house is being repaired from the last book. But they're doing all the things that you guys have been doing during quarantine, like they're in too tight of a space, and dad's trying to work, and mom's reading Manny his stories, and they're too loud. And so I tried to capture some of that spirit, but I didn't actually write about real quarantine.
Hi, my name is William. I'm in 4th grade from Pennsylvania. And my question is, if you got arrested for speeding in your van, which Wimpy Kid character do you think would bail you out?
If I got caught for speeding, which Wimpy Kid character would bail me out? Not Roderick. He'd probably get us both thrown in jail. I think Mom might do some sweet talking. Greg would be kind of useless. He'd be hiding underneath the back seat. So I think that I'm going to go with Mom again. All right, next question.
Hi, Jeff. My name is Jason. I'm a 5th grader from Randall, Minnesota. I was wondering, with the upcoming election, which character from the Wimpy Kid books would you pick for the president of 2020? Can't wait to see who you pick. Bye!
Who would I pick? I think I'm going to pick Rowley, because I think Rowley would be decent and kind, and he'd probably have a ball pit in the Oval Office, which, I think that we need one in there. So Rowley is my choice for president. All right, next.
Hey, Mr. Kinney. I'm Hudson from Cincinnati, and I was wondering if you had a diary when you were a kid. If so, was it as silly as Greg's? Looking forward to your response.
Now, did I have a diary when I was a kid? I didn't have a diary when I was a kid. I actually had one when I was a grown-up, when I was in my 20s. And I wish I had a diary when I was a kid, because I really would have liked to have been able to look back on my childhood now as a grown-up. I highly recommend you keep a diary or a journal. Great question. Let's have the next one.
Hello, my name's Isabella, and I live in West Sussex from England. And my question is, has any of the stuff in the book actually happened in your life?
All right, Isabella, that is a great question. I have heard it before, and that is going to make Rowley cry, but that's okay because it's a great question. Has anything in the books happened in my real life? Yes, almost everything has happened in one way or another. Usually what I do is I take the real life experiences of my life and I put them into the fiction blender, and then they come out as Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Something I'd really recommend to you guys is to write your stories down, because we want to hear your stories. I've written my life story in these books, and we want to hear your stories next. So I really, really hope you'll think about that, Isabella. Okay, is that our last question? That's our last question. We only made Rowley cry once, and it wasn't even that bad. So now we are going to go back to the party and see what comes next. All right, we have 3 pie pieces left. Let's give it a spin. And we landed on Dance Off. All right. Everybody knows that every party, every good party, has some dancing. So we actually have 3 teachers who are willing to bust a move on screen, and they're coming in now. We have Miss Keller, Edens, and Mr. Williams. I think I know who Mr. Williams is. Miss Keller, could you give a thumbs up? Okay, and Miss Edens, can you give a thumbs up? Okay, there we go. Okay, you guys are ready. You're looking really sharp in your outfits. This is going to be really good. Now, before we get started, you need to know what you're dancing for. So the winner will actually win a virtual visit to my studio here on the 3rd floor. So you'll get a virtual tour of my studio. Is that something that's worth dancing for? Yeah! So we're gonna get started, and I'm going to start the music, but don't get started dancing right away. Wait for the beat drop. Do you guys know what the beat drop is? Okay, he's got it. This is great. Okay, here we go. So let's get the music. We're ready. Get into position so we can see you. And We are starting music up. Don't dance yet. Wait for it. Wait for it. Beat drop is coming. And now. Okay. I'm really worried that somebody's going to get hurt. We had to stop. You guys are still dancing. This is hilarious. Okay, first of all, everybody's going to win something. So if you didn't win, you will win this dance off loser certificate if you didn't win. Okay, so I need to make sure I get the names right again. Miss Keller, give me a wave. Okay, Miss Edens and Mr. Williams. This is a really tough one. All right, the actual winner is Miss Keller. All three of you are going to get a virtual tour of the Wimpy Kid studio. I can't wait to see you guys on screen and in your classrooms. That was really amazing. Thank you so much for participating. And let's get back to the party. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh no, we're down to just 2 squares left, I think. And we have just heard the whistle for the end of the party. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to either of these 2 pie slices because the party is over. What did I hear? Did I hear groaning of disappointment? Boo! Oh, you know what? I think that maybe we could spin it one more time. But this is kind of a dangerous game because we have 2 left. One is Dunk Jeff, and one is extra homework. Now, your teachers have prepared for you packets this thick of extra homework for you to do over the weekend if we land on that pie piece. Is it still worth it to take the chance to not get it? It's 50-50. You think it's worth spinning it one more time? Okay, so we can only spin it one more time. And here we go. Fingers crossed for extra homework. Let's give it a spin. All right, here we go. And we landed on, oh no! We landed on Dunk Jeff. Okay, this is actually a real problem because I wasn't really expecting it to land on that one. We don't really have any water. All I've got is just this little kind of thing of water right here, and that's not really enough to dunk me, so I should just stop, right? We shouldn't do this one, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, we can dunk Jeff, but I am a little thirsty, so hold on just one second. Okay. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay, that looks like a good amount to dunk Jeff with. Okay, so we're going to do this on the count of 3. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, and... We have a lifeguard somehow in our studio. What are you doing here?
I'm here to surprise you, Jeff.
To surprise me?
Yeah.
Great. And surprise me with what?
Dunking.
With dunking. Oh, well, first of all, I should put on my mask.
Yeah,
okay, here we go.
First.
Safety first.
Before
Here we
the
go.
dunk, you must wear a mask.
With dunking. Okay, so you need this to dunk me with. Is
I
that
do
correct?
not need that, Jeff. No. We have something better in store.
You have something better than
Even
this?
better than that bottle of water, yes.
And so where is this dunking thing?
Well, you have to come with me for that one.
Come with you. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll be right back.
All right,
I'm
Jeff,
going to go with
come
the
with me.
lifeguard. Here we go.
Come with me, Jeff.
You're really taking me outside?
I'm really taking you outside.
So can't we stop in the Wimpy Kid studio where I do all of my work? Looks so inviting.
No time.
All
Let's
right,
go.
all right.
Let's go, Jeff.
All right, we're going
Go
outside.
outside.
Here we go.
Hustle, hustle.
Why are we in such a rush? I don't want to get dunked.
We need to rush the what?
When you have like a bigger thing of water, like a gallon or something like that?
Maybe a bucket, I don't know.
All right, we're going to do a gallon of water. I can do that. All right. You guys. All right.
Come on, Jeff.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
What are we doing out here? What's going on?
To the dunking.
We
Hi,
actually
Jeff.
have
To the dunking.
Miss Almeida,
Hi.
the kid's favorite teacher. It's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to see
You
you.
look so stylish. Why are you here?
Well, I came here to dunk you.
Me?
Yes.
In a dunk tank.
In a
an
dunk
actual
tank.
dunk tank.
Yes.
Okay, and who have you brought with you?
I brought with me my niece Lily and my niece Heidi.
Lily and Heidi. I hope none of you can throw. You didn't like play on
I've been practicing, Jeff.
Okay, great. That's all I need. What do I do?
Get up there, Jeff Kinney.
Right here. Oh, this is actual water in here. It's freezing.
It's freezing.
I can't do this.
You can do it. You can do it.
Is this chlorinated or something? Hold on. All right.
I'm ready, Jeff.
I'm not ready. Okay. All right. Hopefully you can't throw.
Are you ready? Well, I've been practicing.
All right. Let's go.
Here we go. Oh! I
She hit it?
missed. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm starting to feel pretty good about things. Whoa!
Oh!
Up here with the target.
So close.
Oh gosh. Oh, your third and final throw. Unfortunately, you guys are not going to get to dunk jump today. So I'm sorry everybody, that's the end of the show. Woo! That is freezing! Miss Almeida, how could you do this to me?
I had to.
Okay, now that really is the end of the show. Thank you so much for dunking me. Thanks to everybody who watched today. Now, keep safe this fall. It's going to be a crazy fall. Hope to get to meet you in person one day. Boy, this water is freezing. That's the end of our show, guys.